This is a walkthrough of an application I created that will automate the process of receiving invoices. The application, which works with Microsoft 365 and Gmail, will monitor an inbox for attachments. Because this application is built specifically to deal with invoices, I suggest setting up a dedicated email to receive invoices. When attachments are received, the application pulls the vendor name and invoice number from the invoice, creates a cover page, which we'll go over later, attaches the cover page to the invoice, saves the invoice package to a directory on OneDrive or Google Drive. Then in Outlook, it will move the email to a new folder, and in Gmail, it will attach a label to the email. This entire process is automated with very little setup, which we'll get into now. The first step is to sign in and grant permissions. I realize that security policies are different for every organization, and we're able to work with you to meet the security needs of your organization. The consent process is the same for Microsoft 365 as it is Google. This will go over the Microsoft 365 process. Once you click sign in, you'll be directed to the Microsoft 365 sign-in site. Here you will enter your email address and password. Once you click sign in, you'll be presented with the permissions page. We understand that the permissions the application needs are extensive, as it needs to be able to read your emails, change your emails, and also read and write on OneDrive and Google Drive. There are other ways for this invoice processor to work that do not include these extensive permissions on your email. You can reach out to us for that information. Moving on with this walkthrough, we're going to just click accept. You will be redirected back to the web application. Once you're back on the web application, the only thing to do here is go to the settings page and make any adjustments. You can come back to the settings page at any time and make adjustments, which will apply to anything processed in the future. There are 5 settings you can define. The first is the Outlook folder name or the Gmail label name. After an email is processed, in Outlook, it will be moved to an individual folder, and in Gmail, a label will be created. This defines what the folder name is or the label name is. You can also define what the folder name is in OneDrive or Google Drive. You can also define what the file separator is, which separates the vendor name from the invoice number. You can also define the show name and the production company name, which will appear on the invoice cover sheet. Once you're done making your changes, hit Update Settings, and that's it for this page. Moving over to Outlook, you should have an email notification of a newly connected app. It's good to save this email because it provides you a direct link to revoke privileges. Back in Outlook, we have 2 emails with attachments. One of the emails has 2 attachments, while the other one has 1 single attachment. This is my OneDrive folder where there are currently no files. I'm going to run the automation process manually right now. You'll see a folder being created and the emails moved into those folders. They will remain in the unread state. The folder name comes directly from the settings page earlier. Moving over to OneDrive, you will see that we now have a folder with 3 files in it. There are a couple of things to note here. First, the application does its best to pull the vendor name and invoice number. This information is based on a confidence level. If anything has a low confidence, I put LOWC before either the vendor name or invoice number. Oftentimes this information will still be correct, but it's always best to check. You will also notice 2 files with similar file names. This is because the files are the exact same file. The application appends a number to the end of the file if the file name already exists. Let's download one of the files now and open it up. The first page is an invoice cover sheet attached to the invoice. It pulls information from the settings page earlier. including PO number, asset number, accounts, notes, etc. If you're currently using a stamp, this invoice cover page could easily replace that. The cover page also contains tabs for DocuSign, so you do not have to manually place each signature on the documents. I will provide a link below to my DocuSign automation. If you do check out that video, you wouldn't need a stamp, as this cover sheet would replace it. That's it for this walkthrough. If you would like a customized version of this, or are interested in other automations, please reach out.